there, boys and girls. Welcome to the Crafty Corner here at Fayette County Public Library. I'm Miss Lisa, and today we're going to make a bird cage. Now, I bet many of you have pets at home. I have a puppy dog. I bet many of you have dogs or cats or maybe even fish. Well, did you know that you could actually go to the pet store and buy a bird and have it at home? Now, if you have it at home, you're going to need a cage to put it in. So we are going to make a bird in a cage today. I want you to use your imagination when you work on your bird, because it can be any type of bird. It doesn't just have to be a red bird or a blue bird. You can use your imagination. Now, you need to have quite a few craft things, in order to put this bird cage together. If you don't have all the items that you need, come into the library. I've got a packet all ready for you with all the items that you need. So, you are going to need to have some cardstock. Construction paper will not hold up well enough. You need some cardstock. So you need 8 1-inch by 12-inch strips, as well as 2 2-inch by 12-inch strips. You will need 1 paper plate. You will need a picture of a bird. I just chose a very simple bird. If you choose to do a parrot or something else, go online and pick a bird to use for your bird cage. You need scissors and a hole punch. You need some glue. You're going to need yarn or string that's about 1 yard long. You will need a paper fastener, and then markers or crayons, whatever you would like to use to color your bird with. All right, let's get started. The first thing that we need to do is put the strips together, because they are going to be the bars on the cage, and we need to put them together and let them set for just a little while. So we're just going to put some glue, and make sure you have enough, and press it down, keep it straight, and we're just going to set that aside. So you need to do that for all 8 of them. Just put 2 of them together, press, and set aside. So let's go ahead and get all 4 of those done. And today I'm making a pink bird cage. If you come in and get a packet, I've got many different colors, so you can choose whatever color bird cage you would like. Okay, so there are my 4 bars that we will put on the bird cage here in a minute. We will also want to glue together the 2-inch by 12, which will now be 24 inches. Okay, and this is going to become the base of your bird cage. Try to make sure that they stay straight. All right, our next step is to take our paper plate. Now you'll notice that there are ridges all the way around, and then there's this little raised circle. Don't cut past that circle. So you're just going to, about every 1/2 inch to 1 inch, just make a little snip all the way around your paper plate. And then we're going to fold these little snippets up so that we have a nice solid base at the bottom of our bird cage. All right, so once those are all cut, we're just going to fold these up, go all the way around, try to crease them in, and then bring them back so that it makes a nice circle for the bottom of your bird cage. Okay. Now what we're going to do is take our 2-inch by 24 inch, and we're going to wrap it around the paper plate. Okay. And we need to come in just a little bit more, it looks like, to make it all the way around. Here I would suggest that you use the white glue, and you're going to want to use a pretty good amount so that it will stick to the paper plate. But again, don't make big globs, scribble it around, and it doesn't have to go all the way to the top because it will stick above the paper plate. So here's our paper plate. We're going to want to take our band, the base of our bird cage now, and just roll it around until it meets just perfectly, and just continue to press those little paper plate tabs onto your cardstock until it sticks pretty well. All right, and where the 2 meet, we probably need, a little bit of glue there to hold it all together. Okay, so so let's let that hold and set. Okay. Takes a little doing. You've got to hold and set it. Pinch it good. If they're all not laying flat on the cardstock, that's okay. Alright, so we're going to set this off to dry. Because before we put the bars on, this is going to have to be pretty sturdy. So we're going to set that off to the side for just a minute. While we're waiting for that to dry, we are going to color our bird. Now, remember I told you you could make it any color you want. I'm going to sort of be boring today and just make a canary. So I'm just going to color it in yellow. And remember, since you are going to cut it out, you don't have to color it just perfectly. You just have to get it so that it is the color that you want. We have the wing here. Okay. Now, we really need two wings, one for both sides of the bird. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out. And then I'm going to trace it so that we have another bird. Another wing. Okay, so in this empty white space right here, I'm just going to trace that wing and go ahead and color it yellow as well. You're going to want to do both sides of your bird and the wings because this is a 3D project and you can look at it from all directions. Alright, so I got the one wing. It's ready to go. Just take my scissors here and cut out the other wing. Give it a little yellow on the back. I'm just making a canary or a yellow parakeet. If you guys make this at home, I sure would love to see it. There are some very beautiful birds out there. A painted bunting is a beautiful bird that lives in Florida. And it has 3 or 4 different colors on it. So that would be neat to make. You can make a parrot or a macaw, different birds that people keep as pets. Alright, so this bird needs a little color on the back side. And I would probably, let's use a little orange. Let me find my orange for the beak. Alright, so you want to color in his beak. Yeah, this orange doesn't show up too well. And I'm going to go ahead and give him an eye over here on this side as well. Alright. The wings, what you're going to want to do is just give it a little fold. Okay, because we're going to make him 3D. We're just going to get a little bit of glue there. And glue his one wing on the one side. Fold the other wing. Turn your bird over. And glue the other wing on. And then we're going to set the bird aside for a minute while we make the bars to the bird cage. Okay, there's my little canary. He's ready to be inside his little home. Alright. Here's our base, and it's looking pretty good now. And our 4 big long strips. This is the part that's a little tricky, boys and girls. You're going to need to have a hole puncher. We're going to punch a hole right there in the center of where you glued, where the 2 strips of paper overlap. Alright, so this is why we needed that glue to set up a little bit before we used the hole punch. Now we're going to take these bars and lay them in here. So we're going to need to have glue on the outside of the 2 on the 2 ends of the bar. So, and again, you're going to want to use quite a bit of glue so that it will stick. So we're going to just slide these in here and press it down. Try to get them even straight across. And then we're just going to do that with the rest of these bars. The hole should line up in the center. That's the part that's a little tricky. So you're going to overlap this, slide it in there. The holes are going to be lined up pretty well. Press that, and we got 2 more to go. All right. The last step is simply to put our bird in. Okay, so we're going to have this here and this over here. press it down. Okay, trying to line up the holes. And we got one more to go. We have an empty spot. You can see where it needs to go. Just lay it right there on top. Slide that edge of the bar down in there. All right, this is such a pretty bird cage. I like this bright pink. And if they're not even, don't worry about it. Okay, so now we need to attach our bird. Your bird is going to need a little hole punch. Don't hole punch its head. It's going to need to go right on the back of the bird, behind its wings. In other words, it's not going to be straight inside your bird cage. You're going to take your yarn or your string, and we need to make a little knot. I know knots are hard for a lot of humans to make, so if you have trouble with these, seek out help from an adult. You need a little knot there on top of your bird's back. Okay, now we get to thread this through the different holes of the bar. So we got to go through this one, and oh my, and go up through this one, and my string is starting to unravel a little bit. That's the problem you will run into. That's why we need to have plenty so that you can trim off that extra part that's coming apart. So I'm going to string it through this one, and finally the last one. Okay, then you're going to pull it and pull it and pull it. You need a lot of extra here so you can hang it somewhere. Slide your little bird on the inside. All right, that's about the right length. Now, to secure your string, you're just going to sort of roll it up underneath one of those other bars. Okay, so that it sort of makes a little knot up there. And again, if you need help with knots, just ask, because you're going to want to make sure that that bird stays secure. So once you have that little knot, if you find your little paper fastener, you can again go through all of those little holes and then open the paper fastener on the underside like that, and that will definitely secure it well. And there you have it, boys and girls, a canary in a beautiful pink bird cage. This extra string you can cut off depending on where you want to hang it. You can cut off the extra. All right, boys and girls, isn't that sweet? I am so glad you joined us here today at the Crafty Corner. This has been Miss Lisa at the Fayette County Public Library. Tune in again next Wednesday at 2 o'clock for another cool craft.